Hello and welcome back to my workshop. Today I'm going to do a quick blade change and a bit of a service on my Makita planer, the 2012 NB. I've had this machine for about a year, and bearing in mind that 99% of what I do is pallet wood, pretty well every single piece of wood that comes through this workshop goes through this planer first before I do anything else with it, partly to get it smooth, and partly to uncover, if it's pallet wood, to uncover, get the grime off and actually find out what sort of wood is underneath, what sort of colour it is. I've used it for about a year, and to be brutally honest, I should have done this a lot earlier, but it's starting to leave tram tracks down the wood, which I suspect means that I've damaged the blade. Maybe I've caught some nails or something like that. Occupational hazard of working with pallets, I try and get them all out. I primarily use this machine for planing rather than thicknessing. It's a planer thicknesser, but I very rarely try and get a thick piece of wood down to a thin piece of wood using this. It just takes too long. It's a great machine, but that whole process just takes too long. So what I'm primarily using it for is getting it down to a nice plain surface. And I remember the first video I did with this machine where I used it out of the box. I was absolutely flabbergasted that it left the wood. I think I commented at the time. I'll put a link to the review, but I think I said that it was sanded to. It felt like it had been sanded to about 80 grit, if not more, possibly even 120. Just straight out to the planer. Wasn't going to need any work. Well, now it's definitely, as I say, it's definitely leaving tram tracks. So I haven't done anything to it other than I try and hoover it out each time, and after I've used it, but without taking any of the covers off or anything. So I'm going to take off the covers, give it a bit of a hoover, give the chain an oil. I haven't done that. I should have done that much more often than I have. And then I'm going to, they're double-sided blades, so I'm going to switch using the kit that they provide with magnets and there's magnets holding the blades, and a little hex wrench as well. So, right, here goes. I'll probably do some of it on double speed because it's going to be pretty boring. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to hoover out all the sawdust that I obviously haven't been getting out each time. This chain does look pretty dry, but hopefully not worn, hopefully. So yeah, here goes with some hoovering. Okay, I'll have to hoover at each stage as I uncover each part, but next is to take off this cover, which also acts as a micro switch under here. That as soon as I release this, it'll lock the blade into place. More hoovering. Right, these blades, even though I'm replacing them, are very, very sharp, so I'm going to do everything with gloves on, good cut resistant gloves. Now, this should lock into place. There you go. There's a little micro switch here which was being pressed down by this cover. Now that that's gone, that's locked in place, so we can do one set of the blades, press down the micro switch, manually turn the shaft round, and then do the other set. Give myself the most amount of working room I can here by putting this all the way down to the bottom. hopefully needless to say, all of this is done with the machine unplugged. I suspect these are all the same, but I'm going to take them out and put them in order so I can put them back into the same hole that they came out of. Okay, so the magnets that they provide are shaped such that this goes on the flat black cover and these go over the edge and clip onto the actual blades themselves. So then you should just be able to lift off. There you go. Yeah, okay, I can see why I'm getting tram tracks. I don't think there's any way you'll be able to see this on the camera. But there are definitely, if I run my paintbrush along there, I can feel that that's not a smooth surface. It's cutting the paintbrush, so it's still sharp, but it's not. There are dips. So that's why I'm getting tram tracks. So the recommendation is to lay the blade down on a piece of wood. And the blade comes with a groove that runs down the middle. So I'm now going to just switch it over, put the sharp side there, and put the put the groove, basically put the cover back into the groove where it was before. Put the magnet back on. Might just see if there's anything to come out of here dirt-wise. And ultimately the blade is the same length, same width as the cover, so it just fits nicely. Okay, if I run my, yeah, it's a completely different feel. That's a completely smooth surface. I thought it might be more of a positive click. It is literally just sitting, the edge of the cover is just sitting in that groove. There isn't a positive click. But when the magnets are in place, it's held exactly where it should be. Okay. Put these back in the same order that they came out. When you come to actually tighten with the hex wrench, you want to start from the middle, apply a bit of pressure to all of them, and then when you do your final tighten, go out from the middle, out to the edges, just like you would if you were tightening anything mechanical, really. Right, so that's all of them now. I'm just going to give them one final tweak again, starting from the middle. Bearing in mind how difficult they were to undo with this hex wrench. That's, I'm doing them as tight as I can. I think by using this tool you can't get a huge amount of leverage on it because I've only given you a tiny little handle, and I think that's probably a good thing because it means you don't over tighten. Okay, so those are all as tight as they will go. So now I'm going to release the micro switch. There we go, we're on the other side now. Okay, it's very obvious which is the old side, which is the old blade, and which is the new blade, which is just as well really, otherwise I'd be wasting my time. So now I'm just going to give this chain a bit of love, which hasn't seen for quite a while. Just put some oil on it. I haven't got a specialist oil specifically for this job, but I'm putting on the same oil that I use on my chainsaws, which I think very much should do the same job. Okay, so that all should be ready to go back together again now. I always try to, where possible, put the screws temporarily back into the holes that they came out of, if it's practical, when I'm taking things apart, just so that I don't end up with a pile of screws, not remembering which one went in where, especially if, unknown to me, one of them is a very slightly different size, even though they look like a pair. It's just easy to know that that screw is going back into exactly where it came out of. Okay, so that was nice and simple, but as a precaution, having taken something apart that has a blade that's going to spin ferociously quickly, I am going to do a very quick start up and close and shut down while I'm standing well back. If I've, for whatever reason, I've either put something back in unbalanced or left something in there by mistake. I mean, I know I haven't, but as a precaution, I would always, whilst I'm my eyes, pick it up. test, just turn it on, let it spin up. So I'm just going to quickly spin it up and check that everything goes okay. It's a very noisy machine, so I always wear ear protection and always wear eye protection. Okay, that test went okay, so I'm just going to put a piece of wood through it, so I'll have to turn my dust extraction on as well, so it's going to get noisy. Well, once again, new blades. I mean that's got to be 120 grit, if not 150 grit. It's absolutely completely smooth. When I compare that to the tram tracks that I was getting, it's unfortunately I can't really show you the tram tracks, but because it's more of a feeling thing. But yeah, so but that's completely smooth. So that's been a total success. I shall order myself some new blades now. Because the next time I do that, I'll need to obviously put new blades in rather than just switching them around. And I'm going to diarise myself a note to do that in a few weeks' time, in a couple of months' time, 3 months' time, whatever it is. I'll keep an eye on the tram tracks, but I had forgotten just how smooth that is with brand new blades on. That's just shockingly good, shockingly good. So hopefully that's been helpful. Hopefully it's encouraged you to do it yourself if you're just umming and ahhing about it. It's very simple to do, and as long as you're just very methodical and wear lots of gloves so that you don't cut yourself, then you know it should be good to go. If you've got any questions or comments, please stick them in the section down below, and if you've got time to like the video, fantastic, thank you very much. And if you've got time to subscribe to the channel, even better, slowly getting my numbers up, so thank you very much to everybody who's subscribed. And until next time, stay safe.